Hello, everybody. This is a Lamley showcase. When you're at the Hot Wheels convention in Los Angeles, you get access to a lot of Hot Wheels designers, and we are taking advantage of that. Kristina's here. How are you?
I'm great.
We had you here last year.
Yes.
You've popped into a couple other videos that we've done, and you're doing graphics.
Lots of graphics.
All kinds of graphics. And as I've talked to some other designers, we have some that are in charge of certain lines, and then we have those that dabble. You are in charge of a lot, but you also dabble in a lot as well. I think a lot of what I've learned with a lot of the graphics folks is that if there's a job somewhere, they're asking you if you can get it done.
Definitely.
So you are here. So we kind of picked out some stuff, and I'm happy we're doing this because this allows us to kind of pick your brain a little bit, kind of get into some of the stuff that you're doing. And it spans, I think what we've got here is all premium and RLC F1, but do you even do some basics as well?
I did one basics car. It was the Women's Day car. The Brazilian Dodge
Charger. That was you.
That was me.
That was a cool deco, the pink and black, right? Yes. If I remember correctly.
Yeah, pink and black and a little bit of gold.
That was an awesome deco.
Thanks.
I really thought that was rad. So, so you're mainly premium and up.
Correct.
Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Okay, that makes sense. So
I have done some extensions lately, though.
What have you done?
Pullbacks and super rigs.
Okay, so yeah, you do dabble.
Yeah, I dabble.
So some of the super rigs, we'll have to get a sense of some of those as they come out later, as some of those that you've done. You'll have to let us know. And I'll put a link to your Instagram, because sometimes you pop those on too, and you'll let us know what you're working on.
And when I remember to.
Yeah, I know. You guys have enough on your plate.
Yeah.
But yes, we've had Brendan's talked about some of these models. I think Ron, I think all of those that have worked on the actual models, but we want to get your take on some of these graphics. So
okay.
I think what I want to do, well, let's just start with F1.
All right.
And you've got one F1 here, but you are doing the graphics for the entire F1 line, right?
Correct. Yes.
And we're talking about the premium F1 line.
Yes.
And so we've got Rob doing the castings, and he and I talked about how team to team there are subtle differences from casting to casting.
Yeah.
And then you, of course, are going to then capture the graphics on each one of them. So you pulled out one of them. You want to tell us a little bit about this one?
This is the V-Carb. I just grabbed this because it was in the pile, but basically I'm not only taking the team's liveries to recreate it, but then I'm also recreating every driver helmet as well. So
yeah, that's amazing to see that kind of detail.
So that's, it's a lot of work, but it's very satisfying end result. And it's been really neat to see, it's a little bit of teething going on with this whole process, but, we try and get graphics everywhere. The halo, we can't get inside the wings, but we get the outside. We've got the tires and wheels, because every
tires
team
are fantastic.
has like a little bit, different tire and wheel deco. I mean, wheel deco, not tires, but yeah. So
and I think one of the things that I notice here, and I bet it's fun as a designer, is with this relationship with F1, you can top to bottom graphics. You can go with the actual car, and even Rob was talking sometimes the spec of the particular car from a particular race that they got from that racing team. That's the car they're going to replicate.
Right.
And you get to do that with the graphics as well. So everything that's there, you get to put on, as opposed to some sort of shout out or tribute or
and and like basics is very limited because there's one casting for all the cars, and actually I believe it's a little bit harder for Leeway because he's got to reduce and still keep the teams happy, where I have to do as much as possible within reason. So, but it's also we have to make sure the Pantone colors are correct and the sponsors are happy, and then the driver helmets But it's great. Like finally seeing the end result has been.
They look so good.
Amazing.
I think you picked a good one too. I know it was just in the pile, but I think the color combination on this one really pops, and it's awesome to see.
Yeah.
So all the F1, we know that you're doing that. Let's go through some basic ones. Premium. And so we've got car culture, and you're working. I think Van does some. You do some.
Van does most of car culture.
Okay.
So I'm. Boulevard,
oh, you're Boulevard, right?
Boulevard,
That's right.
I'm 2 car packs. I'm collector sets.
And you do all of those.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and like every now and then I'll help out with like a car culture or team transport,
right?
Just depending on workload. But most of, everything else, with
so we are like, this is all Boulevard.
This is a 2-car pack.
Okay.
So this is Boulevard. This is kind of to my own heart. My mom had one of these when I was in high school. It was a champagne gold, but this is a rad casting, and I'm really happy how it turned out. We got the factory stripes on it,
and that's what I say. I said to Rob too. It's you really captured the era. I mean, he captured the era with the casting, but you captured the era with the deco on it too.
Yeah, it just reminded me of I would take it and go drive through the mud and stuff, and she'd be super mad, but it was,
I remember friends in high school that had these, and they always had really cool side decos and things like that.
Yeah.
So I would imagine that's a fun one to do.
Definitely.
This is a new Ron casting.
This is a new Ron casting, and we also have new wheels on this. So we have
that's right.
6-spoke Inky style wheel, and Ron chose to do this awesome Rally Art livery for the first one. So this is one of those cars we don't get here. So, but it's one of the ones that are like, I wish I could have that. So this was great to replicate because I would drive it. So
it's very practical.
Yeah, very practical. I mean, throw stuff in the back. So
is there
custom plate?
Oh, I love it.
So, but yeah, this is a 2-car pack. It's with a Forester STI. That's a carry forward. It's the blue one.
The blue one, right?
So it's like a fast wagons.
Love
pack,
it.
So
love it. This would have to be
Boulevard. Ron and I are trying to get a Hot Wheels livery into Boulevard every year. So this Torino Talladega is
very NASCAR-esque.
Yeah, I was happy, and I just love how this car sits, and I love how we got the tampo on the tires. So we got some real and designer sponsor logos on there. So
it looks great.
So this one's actually, been very well received, and I'm happy with how.
Oh, I can't imagine why people wouldn't like this one. I really do like the racing deco on that. So and I would imagine that was pretty fun.
Yeah,
to
definitely
work on something like that.
Yeah, this is when I was struggling with it a little bit, and I'm like, let's do Hot Wheels, and then it clicked.
And it clicked.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
GR 3-door Yaris, which we also don't get.
What's with that?
I know, I love spicy hatchbacks. So.
And this one is definitely spicy.
Definitely spicy. So.
Even with the plain white deco on it.
Yeah. So we, one of our designers, Omar, packaging has the American version, but they're sweet little cars.
They're really cool.
So.
And you have to, sometimes I'd imagine as the graphics designer, sometimes it's like, look, I'm just gonna. There's a particular version of this car that we're doing, and I have to basically replicate it best I can.
Correct.
And in this case, a white Yaris may not, it's not going to be showing off the full extent of your skills, but you're picking colors and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then on the opposite of that is the NASCAR or Hot Wheels racing.
So it depends, a lot of these, like in the case of the Torino, we've already done like the headlights and taillights, and it's up to me to make a nice livery for it.
Yeah.
And this car is new casting, so I do have to pay attention to, how the headlights look and the side markers and the taillights. So it's like a different kind of perfectionism. It's kind of like with Formula One, I have to replicate it exactly how the car appears. I can't, be too crazy.
And that would be another element of your skills, just maybe on the other side of the spectrum, right? In terms of you have the stuff that you're going to it's going to come out of your brain, and you're going to create some sort of, you got a blank canvas and you can do whatever you want. And then the others is like, look, the skill here is to be as precise as possible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And because Ron and Brennan and Rob, they're also passionate about their casting. So, and it's been great because, Brendan, it's like, this Firebird, for instance, I knew I got to make this right because Brendan will want it to look right.
Yes.
So, we got that hex pattern on the taillights and the badging.
Wow.
So, and there's a lot of Pontiac fans out there. It's not just Brendan.
Right.
But I wanted it to look right,
It looks amazing.
So this is a case where I do want to make it right as possible. But then sometimes, then I get to have fun.
Yes.
So, but either way, I've been staring at cars since high school. So I've been in, that cars have been my life since high school. So it makes me happy to make enthusiasts happy, not just collectors.
And there's so many ways to do that, right? And it might just be a particular color or just the the details in the taillights, but it's something, right?
Exactly.
To be able to hit that.
And people notice it,
right.
Sometimes, I'm thinking, no one's going to notice it, but they do. And then to delight like not only like my coworkers, but you know, somebody who has this car. You know,
right.
They're just like, wow, you got everything. So that's what makes me happy too.
There's been an ongoing theme with the videos I've been filming at this in particular, and it's a and you were part of that, but it's like just like that process of learning and how that truly is passed on. I'm kind of, as we're filming these, I'm kind of getting fascinated with that because that's such a process for collectors. You know, we don't know everything, and when you get introduced to something entirely new, that maybe either a car or a livery or some sort of racing history or whatever.
Yeah.
Or maybe even a detail in the taillights where you're like, oh, I'd never even noticed that was there. Those are really cool to kind of, to learn that process. It sounds like, and with graphics, what you're doing, you have to go in and say, all right, how do I properly do this, right? So
yeah, and do we have the budget to do it?
Yeah.
But, you know, like with the supercars, you know, that's not something I ever really focused on. I mean, growing up in the 80s, you know, ooh, Countach, you know, stuff like that. But, you know, have somebody like Ron, like, oh, there's a vent here and this here, and, you know, and this model's a little bit different. And, you know, and then you have Brennan who's like, well, this was made here, and, you know, this car had these taillights and they switched this year. So I like learning about all of it.
So cool.
I might not retain it all.
No.
But like in the process, I think it's, you know, super important for me to make it as accurate as possible.
Which is really cool. And that, I think that, you got that, and you go from the Firebird to this BMW, which is very much also in Ron's wheelhouse.
Right. And so, Rob Mathis did this casting.
That's right, he did. He's the BMW guy, right?
Yeah, so this was debuted in a 2-car pack last year.
Right?
So this time we went for like a clean
Boy, it sure changes the look of this one.
So we tried to get like a little carbon fiber look on the roof.
Love that.
So, but this is like, hey, you know, I'm gonna just take this out to the track this weekend.
That's such a mean looking car. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, I love the way like how it sits, and the wheels just tuck way into the fenders like that. It sits so nicely. So
you know, it really does with those lower profile tires. From compared to the racing car, it just changes the look. I thought this might be a totally new casting, but it's actually the one that was released last year.
Yeah, and that's a great casting. I mean, there's so many awesome race liveries like we'd want to do on it. So
there's one in particular I think that one day might, would be cool to see coming. Everyone knows what I'm talking about, but it's but that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. All right, we'll skip over the F1. We already did it, and then there's one other Boulevard one is the Nissan.
Yep, this is RSR. It's one of our licenses.
Yes.
And, we've been experimenting a little bit more with like a bronze wheel since.
I'm digging that.
Yeah, I love it. So, you see a lot of gold, black, white, and then like on Jimmy's, Prius, he's got the mag blue, which is rad.
Yeah.
So I really like the bronze too. So.
Anything like, with the wheels, some of them, some can look a little too plasticky, but when you're playing with these colors, I think it looks awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
That's great.
Yeah, that's one of our sticking points. So hopefully we can work out of the plasticky stuff. So.
Well, that in particular looks really good.
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy with that.
And I also have a lot of fun doing custom plates on everything. I know a lot of collectors appreciate that.
Yes.
So that's
what was that one say? I can't even see it.
I don't have my glasses
here,
on,
I can put it on the camera here.
Okay.
Let's see here.
But yeah.
Fair Lady.
Okay.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So.
That's a great one. That is a great one. I love that casting, so I'm always excited to see it. Let's skip over. You said Legends too, and then we'll finish off with RLC.
So this is a 2026 Legends hauler. Both of Ron's awesome castings. So I went with like a late 90s, early 2000s touring car livery on that. It was actually based off of a Honda Accord back in the day. But,
oh, really?
Yeah. So when I first was, I was in the industry years ago, big cars and automotive aftermarket, when the tuner car craze started, a lot of guys started emulating the touring car graphics on their street cars.
Wow.
So that's what inspired this design.
That's a cool design. And it's cool to see that in this kind of promotional type model with the Legends car. And
these both go so well together,
they really
too.
Do.
So
they really do. We've seen that with the Sora, right? The Toyota Sora is what debuted with this one.
Yeah.
This looks good.
So
this is good. And you have it in package too, right?
Correct, I do. This is a cool package because it's got the front of HTC with the Hot Wheels sign on it. So.
And that will be, so this will come with the Legends events next year
Correct.
in 2026, right?
Yeah.
Because right now, what are we on? It's
The very last event is tomorrow.
Is that? Oh yeah, that's it. That's it. Is tomorrow.
Yeah. So.
Wow.
But yeah, this will be next year at Walmart.
That's great.
So.
That's great. All right, let's talk RLC. What do you like doing best? I know that's a loaded question.
I really don't have an answer.
And I didn't expect you to.
Yeah, it's like if somebody asked me like what my favorite car is, I'll just say yes, because like there's like 10 cars I would love to have, not just one.
Yeah.
It's like somebody asking me what my favorite music is. Sorry, I can't answer that question.
No.
So
didn't think I'd get an answer, but I thought I would throw out the question.
So RLC is great because I get to do a little bit extra. You know, like here, you know, we've got the custom intake that Ford built for these cars. You know, 5.4 liter.
Yeah.
You know, these things were a beast. I love race cars too, so it was fun researching and learning a little bit more about how these cars were made, because they only made 300 of them.
Yeah.
You know, got bigger brakes. They tore out a bunch of the interior.
And only done in red, as
license
Brendan
plate
said.
says 1 of 300.
Oh, that's great.
They actually, on these cars, this is a V6 rear bumper. It wasn't a V8 rear bumper on those cars.
Oh, so you had to you have to be very specific on that.
Yeah, and I just knew that from before, because I knew, you know, a lot of guys who built those Terminator Mustangs would put V6 cladding on it to like be sleepy, but these cars are amazing. So
it's such a cool casting.
And then Subarus are close to my heart, so it was great to do this recolor.
We can tell, but you did the Crosstrek that was in.
I did the Crosstrek.
Yeah, that's in the 2-pack.
Yeah, we have a red Crosstrek with gold wheels, and so the 2-pack car is like, if I had a budget to build the car, that's what it would look like.
Okay, cool.
Which is kind of my husband's baby, so it's our car.
Got it.
Yeah, that's been a great car. So, but going back, you know, this is Subaru history right here. So this was a 22B. And we retooled the chassis, so now this is a WRX STI.
Brandon had mentioned that, and so now you can go beyond the blue, right? So
this has a little bit of a custom feel to it. The pink is actually the STI pink. It's not just a random pink color.
Oh.
Yes, I'm a girl. I do love pink, but this is their specific. This is their specific Subaru STI pink. So,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I got a little stripe on the side with the STI logo.
It looks good.
And I got it on the seats and in the engine bay.
That is pink on the inside, huh? Love the color of the wheels on that, too.
Yeah, there's another
Yeah.
chance to use it. So, yeah, this is kind of close to my heart. So
It's beautiful.
So there she is. And then
It's nice to see it getting this kind of new treatment, too.
Yeah.
Because the debut was perfect.
Yeah, the debut is amazing.
yeah.
So that car sold really fast. I have one, but it was an FEP. I gave mine away. So
You better go find one.
Yeah.
You better go find one. 510?
This is a 510. Van asked me to do this deco, and I found something that I like to emulate. So had fun getting some orange in there, orange on the roll cage to match the graphics.
Graphics are great.
So it's kind of like a Resto Mod livery.
Yep.
The 1.8 is for the 1.8 liter that's in the car. So
Okay, that makes total sense.
yeah. So then I love that color purple with the orange.
It's a great color combination. This is a casting that's been around a long time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so giving it a full refresh in terms of like its deco, making it look like it hasn't looked before, I think was
Definitely.
really important, right?
Yeah. So this was a fun one to do. And then this is a recolor of the RX-7.
I like the red one, but this one, especially the one that brings this home, is the wheel color on this one.
So this is another one, just a little subtle change here and there, but with the this blue, I thought it'd be nice to have the tan interior
Love
as well. So I think this license plate says high RPM because they were high revving cars. So
I gotta see. Oh yeah. Boy, that looks good from the back. That's some. I dig these wheels. These close-up shots are.
So
I can't wait for that one.
It's a nice classy recolor, and I think you know, a lot of guys have like a soft spot for RX-7s, even though they're kind of a basket case car.
So I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they look, especially that generation, it's just so gorgeous. It's such a beautiful car.
Yeah, it's a timeless body style. So
it's so great. Well, you know, it's fun. It's reflected in this conversation. When we decided to do this video, we said, let's just pull out some cars and see where we go. And this is exactly what's fun to see this, and I would imagine it's reflected in to our viewers is, first off, I do think it's kind of cool how you can kind of like pivot from one thing to the next, not only just line to line, like premium to RLC to whatever else, but yeah, you get to like take your maybe newly formed exotic car hat and put that on occasionally, take that off, then put on something classic or racing.
Yeah.
You know, and it's, you know, we know how passionate you are about cars, and so I think that's probably a blast to do.
it's fun.
Yeah.
And I even did a couple monster trucks this year.
You did?
Yeah, and that was actually harder than I thought because blank slate.
Yeah.
I could go crazy, but I mean within reason because
Sure.
you know you're limited. But that was also fun because I love like, you know, I have two. Well, they're growing up, but you know when you have kids, you like become young again.
Sure.
And you want to be like, oh, something that they would love to see. So you know. So that
It's a fun way to do it, right? To think
Yeah.
like, what would my kids want to see?
Yeah.
What would get them excited?
Exactly.
I'm sure that's a great motivating factor.
Yeah, and I love like, you know, Mario is like so passionate about monster trucks and like how he interacts with kids and
Yeah.
you know, kids collect them and I'm like, what would Mario do on this? You know, like so. But yeah, I like, you know, I just like cool designs. I like cool stuff. And
You
I
like
just
cool cars.
Want to make cool stuff.
Yeah,
So.
and it's cool. I mean, just and this is just such a small little cross section, right, of what you've been working on, and
Exactly.
so yeah, we're going to keep pulling you aside and talk about some of these projects you're working on, and yeah, when you can, maybe I'll send you a little reminder. It's like, yeah, put it out there that you did this car so people can follow you.
Yeah,
and like, so
I
we'll
will
put that
definitely.
on.
Yeah,
That'd be
awesome.
awesome.
I mean, sometimes, you know, it's like work, and I'm like, oh yeah, I did that, I forgot, you know, or I'll see it, you know, someone posted,
Yeah.
or no, oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I did that. Yeah, can be.
I mean, I know mine mixes, but then I'll do the fun stuff on the side
Right.
and forget about it. So
Well, we'll be watching.
definitely.
Thank you for sitting down with us.
You're welcome.
We're going to do this again.
Definitely.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.